Hi Libra and Libra Rising. This is your August forecast and I'm doing things a little bit different. I think I've been just tweaking on how I'm going to do my readings in the future and I don't know, figuring out my flow. I've only really had my channel since February, and so I really just think it's a process of figuring out that ballet of being there for you guys, but having some time for myself as well. I do daily readings for everybody. They are offered on my YouTube channel. And in there, I talk about all the daily energy that's at play. I give my interpretation and my empath connection to the energy. I also, on my Facebook, I'll go into the day of the energy. Usually I try to, if I have the time, to talk about how the energies are impacting me, just in case, I feel energy, but I feel others as well. And I'm more connected with the way that others feel their suffering and how they're interpreting energy. So sometimes on the days, if it's not covered during the daily, I'll go in there and I'll just write a blurb and say, I feel that all of you are feeling this way, or I'm feeling this way. How are all of you feeling? So I do a lot of work on the dailies. And so I feel like my monthlies just need to be about letting you guys know primary energies, letting you know the energies that are transitioning, letting you know some key dates, and letting you know where the energies are at in what houses. So the way that I want to do this is I'm thinking, and I've been thinking a lot about this, I've been doing a lot of 12th house work. I went from my Cancer cusp sign into my Leo cusp sign. So I'm a Leo on the cusp of Cancer. And so I've been working in my 12th house kind of behind the scenes, trying to tweak how I want my channel to be. Because again, I didn't have a plan when I made my channel, typical Gemini rising. So let's talk about the energies of this month, and then I'm going to give you the houses, and at the very end, I'm going to sum up all the energies with the houses. And so if I tell you, okay, the sun is going to be opposing Saturn, well, your sun this month is in your 11th house, and let's say Saturn's in your 2nd house. So that is going to be how it impacts you, between those two houses. And then I go into great detail about the houses in these, as I describe them. So you will have a complete picture you will have almost a sun sign horoscope daily if you just know where your energies are in the month. So let's talk about that. On the 1st, we're going to have Saturn go direct. Now, as you know, Saturn has been in retrograde. It was in retrograde in Sagittarius, and then went into retrograde in Scorpio. We revisited some 2012 to 2014 things. There was obstacles that happened in 2012 and 2014 that if you didn't work through during those years, they were revisited in July. And either you did really well, you did all your Saturn work, and you've moved past them, and so now you're to the point to where, obstacles were removed and you got what you wanted. That could have been a way it played out. Or some of those obstacles could have come up again, hit you in the face, and you may have had to deal with those energies at, in July. So, but now we're talking about Saturn going direct. So we're not talking about digging back into our past. Even though Saturn is a karmic planet and it is about past lives and past karmic debt and past responsibilities to your karmic debt, we've been extensively working in those areas. So I think we're going to see, with Saturn going direct here, it in a more benefic type status. So we're going to see Saturn starting to remove obstacles. We're going to see progression in energy. We're going to see some forward movement in the parts of our lives that we have been really striving and working hard to get. You're going to see a lot of personal goals achieved when Saturn goes direct. For you, Saturn is going direct in your 2nd house. So this is about how people value you, truly value you, not take advantage of you, not know that you're not going to say anything if they have poor behavior. Like, They just don't have poor behavior in the first place because they value you enough not to do that poor behavior. If people are still having poor behavior in your life, then it's something you need to evaluate yourself. You're not setting the proper boundaries. You're not showing people how to value you. Live by example. You know, if you don't like the way somebody's treating you, then don't allow yourself to be treated that way. I mean, that's the basics. Libras are such harmonious energies, and they really just want things in that idealistic picture they see, that you allow people to get away with things they shouldn't, to keep that idealistic goal to get what you want. However, is it truly getting what you want, or is it the material aspect of getting what you want? This is something that Libras fall into, and I've witnessed it in just about every Libra I know. They'll fall in love based on the entire picture. You know, they don't just fall in love based on love. They fall, they do. I mean, they fall in love because they want to fall in love. But there's a criteria that somebody must meet. They'll pass up somebody good if that picture of that idealistic life of like money, cars, gifts, extravagant living, if that can be met, sometimes they'll let go and not go for love. They'll go for the financial aspect of it, and they base their love on financial expectation and financial security. Seen that in just about every Libra I know. However, there has been so much energy pushing you guys to stop doing that and start getting love for the sake of being in love. And what type of love do you actually deserve? What type are you looking for? You know, many of you are making some very big decisions about your entire future. And what are you basing it on? You know, you are going to do a lot of work this month. This is a big month for you. July opened some doors for you, but now you really got to step through these doors, and you really got to think about the big picture. You know, for many of you, I know Saturn is revealing some areas of weakness in you, and you're looking at those areas of weakness and you're seeing, you know, just how harmonious of an energy do you actually freaking need to be. I mean, there's only so much a person can deal with, and then there's got to be a boundary that's laid out, and for you not to be treated that way. By setting that boundary, by setting that guideline for people, they learn how to treat you and then value you in the way that you need to be valued. So when Saturn goes direct in here, it's going to be pushing your boundaries. It's going to see how far you're going to let people get away with things before you set your foot down and say, okay, I know I love you. I know I want this goal, but this is the way things got to be moving forward. And you need to really, really, really wrap your head around that. It's very hard to make stands like this, especially for such a harmonious energy. But trust me, the long-term harmony in standing up for yourself and setting the correct value on what you have to give the world is what you're here for. You know, teach the world how you want to be treated. So you've got that going on in the first of the month. So Saturn's going to come in and it's going to start removing obstacles, and it's going to start taking your life in the direction you want it to go. Meanwhile, it's going to be showing you some of the areas you need to work on. Now, granted, if you do this with Saturn and Saturn shows it to you and you bring it up and you guys flow together, then all obstacles will be removed, and this will be a beautiful time filled with everything you want, hope, dream, and desire. However, if you are still caught up in that, I want this so bad that I'm giving parts up of myself to get it, then Saturn's going to create some obstacles, and it's going to have a direct impact in your life. It's not going to be about showing you your past and trying to, show all your karma from your past. It's going to just directly impact your current life. Then we have on the 8th, we have Mars going into Leo. Now, Mars is the planet of passion, and it helps us persevere. It helps us move forward. It helps us be assertive when we need to, be aggressive if we need to. However, it was in its debilitation, and that was in Cancer. So whenever an energy is in debilitation, it usually means it brings out the lower vibrations of that energy. So you may have been more passive aggressive. You may have beat around the bush about what you wanted. You may have tried a million different ways to get this result. And it's to the point to where it's just about bubbling out to the surface. Now, the surface. And so for you, I've seen it's so funny because you hear about how wonderfully harmonious a Libra is. Piss off a Libra. Like, truly piss them off for a long period of time and then watch them blow. Like, there's no wrath like the wrath of a Libra because you don't expect it. And when it happens, it's such a traumatic event, that it impacts people more than the people that just, go half-cocked all the time. And those people get disregarded. Not when a Libra goes off. When a Libra goes off, it's like freaking fright night. And so you're getting to that point about stuff, And so I think for you, you're internalizing all of this. You are needing your friends more than ever. You have big decisions that you need to make, and you need the guidance of others to tell you what direction you need to do. Now, you have these weaknesses. So you have filled your life, or hopefully attracted the right type of people that are karmic guides to you. If you have questions about your path to take, if you're making big decisions and you feel that you are falling into a past pattern, please talk to the karmic relationships that you're in with. Karmic relationships are not just huge tragic losses. They are people put in there as guides to the route that you need to go. Friends can be tremendous guides. There's a lot of 11th house energy in this month, showing me that if you turn to a really good friend, you're going to get some amazing advice that is going to be beneficial and is going to elevate your life in the direction you're hoping it to go, inevitably. But if you're sitting there being quiet, you want something, but you're afraid to ask for it and afraid to be assertive enough to go get it, thankfully you have Mars going into Leo. Leo is a ego-based energy, so you're going to have some desires that if you move forward with this decision, this partnership, this union, this this purpose that you have, then you need it to be in these parameters, and you need somebody to motivate you. And you have to me, a friend is going to stick out this month that is going to push you in the right direction if you listen. If you get stuck in your old patterns and you want to idealize and you want to just black things out like they're not there, then you're probably going to have an unpleasant conversation with a friend. On the 11th, we're going to have Jupiter go into Virgo. And so, again, you're going to be doing some 12th house work here. 12th house is what goes on behind the scenes. You're going to be having conversations either with somebody who is in your utmost inner circle. This is going to be conversations that could possibly be going on behind people's backs about big decisions that you have to make. And maybe you don't want to let a certain person in on that decision that you've got to make because you're still on the fence about it, or you're still wavering about boundaries, and you're working it all out. When Jupiter goes into Virgo, it's kind of in a debilitated state. It's not an optimal energy for Jupiter to go in. So again, when Jupiter just wants to give you all of the blessings to you. When Jupiter goes into Virgo, however, it gives you blessings based on the consideration of others and how well you consider others in your life, or your mental well-being, or your physical well-being. So it's not going to give you a blessing in a relationship that is a toxic relationship for you. It's going to expand the cracks in that relationship. It's going to expand the issues in that relationship. And it's going to do it in a big, fast way. And so it depends on how healthy your mental well-being, your physical well-being, and your unions are, and your partnerships and your creative endeavors and your financial endeavors. It's going to depend on all that. It's also how realistic is your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes about the situations that you're in. If you are in this for the wrong reasons, because this can give you the financial life that you want, but you don't really love this individual, or you have fallen out of love with this individual, or you just don't know if this individual is the right one for you, expect cracks to expand and there to be a dissolution, or you will want to dissolve this relationship. Expect that within the next 12 months. Then we have a new moon in Leo. This is a gorgeous new moon. This is the first new moon that we've had in a really long time that is not debilitated, thankfully. So this is about new beginnings. In your deepest desires, in your core-based desires, this is about what you desire in your romantic relationships, in compassion, in love, in romance, in pleasure. You know, if you're going through the motions in life, then, and it's not a pleasurable experience, but again, it's that idealistic picture, you're going to find that this new moon is going to shed some light on what you really do want. It's going to expand your, you know what, if you say, I want a white picket fence, I want my husband to make $120,000 a year, I want to be able to have an expense account, and, you know, I want to live this way, and I can do this with Ralph, who I'm not at all attracted to, or I can have the love of my life with Brett over here, and Brett is gorgeous, and he's sweet, and he turns me on, and he's the one for me, but you know what? The guy makes like 50 grand a year. That, and I will never have an expense account with him, and I will have to have a full-time job with him. It's that kind of energy. So think about what you really want and plant the seed about what you really want. Don't think about what you have. Think about what you want and wish upon Jupiter to expand and give you what you want for your physical well-being, for your mental well-being, and for the vitality of all that are included in your life. Look, Jupiter will only expand your life if you are living authentic and you are serving others. If you are all about serving yourself, these material, and you're basing it all on the wrong values, you are going to have one terrible year figuring that out. If you can figure out that life is about the basics, about what a Libra represents, which is harmonious unions, which is about love, which is about romance, which is about beauty, which is about pleasure, and not about materialistic outcomes, then I think we're talking about what Jupiter's talking about and Saturn's talking about this month. If you are living in a life where you're not truly happy, then you are taking away the possibility for that person to have happiness with somebody else that values what they value. And then that's a self-oriented energy, and you will see that Jupiter will go in and expand the cracks in that area. So plant seeds in this new moon that are authentic. It could turn around the relationship that you're in, that you may not be as happy as you want it to be, if you plant these seeds and water them with all of the love and genuine desire for both of you to be happy in this new union, or in this potential new union, or in this potential creative endeavor, or in this potential career aspect. The Venus is no longer going to be in Virgo where it was debilitated. It is now going to be moving into Leo. And when it moves into Leo, guys, this is so wonderful for you. This is Okay, even though your planet is still in retrograde, it's still not a great time to start brand new relationships. It's a time to explore past relationships. It's a time for maybe reconciliations from people from your past. It is a time for love, but it's past related. It's looking back. This is about plugging you into the basics. This is about romance, passion, love, sexuality, intimacy. It's about the nuts and bolts. If you are not satisfied in your sexual union with somebody, you're just not going to be happy inevitably. Yeah, they can give you the lifestyle you want, and for a while that'll be sufficient. But when somebody starts to show you some real passion for you, it may make you want to stray from this union based on materialistic outcomes. Plant the right seeds and see what happens. Let Jupiter and Saturn go in there and work their magic, and have faith and trust that if that seed grows, it's going to give you what you inevitably want, even if you don't know what it is. Then you have a gorgeous full moon in Pisces in your 6th house. This beautiful full moon is dancing with Neptune. So Pisces, and Neptune is Pisces' ruler, and it's up there dancing in the heavens. It's caught up in this fairy little tale ending and this wonderful world, and it's feeling rejuvenated. It is still based on reality because it's, some of this fantasy is still based on reality because we have Neptune in retrograde, which is good. It means that any really glorious energy that is coming off of this full moon and Neptune and Pisces energy is going to be reality based. It's going to be something that's going to be magical and potentially launch your life forward. This could also bring an ending. I always say that full moons can actually, they light the shadow part of people's behavior. And so if you find that you just take a look at somebody and you're like, oh my God, I can't live with that for the rest of my life, but I just said I would marry them. Or, you know what, I committed to this financial endeavor, and you know what, I don't want to do it because I think it's too risky for me. And, I want to pull back, and I want to make things, I want to take a risk, but I want it to be a much more practical risk, and not so much just throwing the dice and playing Russian roulette instead of playing, a pretty safe game. So there is a magical energy in this full moon. It is filled with mystical perceptions of things. You may find that this full moon, you have messages when you are sleeping, or you're caught up in your daily routine and you're seeing signs everywhere. Like maybe you're going to work and you're seeing and you're feeling the same energies, or you're seeing the same signs. This stuff will be revealed to you in your daily routines. This is a glorious month. It is filled with lots of harmonious energy. I'm just going to run down all of the primary energies this month. So if you do listen to my dailies, then you know what houses they're in and where you're going to be affected for the month of August. So the Sun, Venus, and Mars are all sitting in the 11th house. And that's the house of friendship and your hopes, your dreams, and your wishes. You have Jupiter, the planet, is going to be in your 12th house, so this is in the shadow sector of your life. You have Saturn in your 2nd house, that's how you are valued, what you value, how others value you. And your new moon is going to be in your 11th house. Again, that's your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. Plant big, big dreams. Plant a bunch of seeds that are truly authentic to what you truly desire. And then the full moon is going to be in your 6th house, and that's in routine, that's in mental well-being, physical well-being, that's in your work environment, opportunities in work. Thank you so much for watching my monthly forecast, and I hope you watch my dailies. I look forward to talking to you guys again next month.